I definitely been dealing with like mental health, issues for a long time. As far as just, not being able to cope with everyday life, or whether it's having issues that you don't want to talk to nobody about, things building up, and snowballing from something that could have been handled and something that was small to something that went out of control. Well, growing up in my environment, and anytime you said you was going to see a counselor, automatically people, they associated you with, kind of kids who ride the small yellow bus, what they say back home. You're on a small bus. So some kids don't want to be associated with that, But my mom told me, you should go see a therapist and talk about your problem because your temper is out of control. And this is when I was 13 years old, right at the time when my parents broke up. So, that helped me out a lot. My first couple of years in the NBA, I was depressed because I had my first kid young, 16 going on 17. So years passed, go to college, you get to the NBA, and then between those years, it was new experiences and, getting in trouble and stuff like that, whether it was off the court with my household, because I'm a young parent now, right? So, and my dad left at the age of 13, so I'm teaching myself how to become a man, how to become a father, In between that time, I'm not doing all the right things, So that leads to arguments in the home. It leads to you bring your problems from home, you bring it to work, and then what you see is on the basketball court. You might see a flagrant foul or a tech or I just don't care attitude. I mean, one time I was at the Garden, we lost against the Knicks, and I threw the monitor on the court, which made no sense. Technical foul in Game 6 in Detroit. When I was with Indiana, when we was trying to get to the championship, that was a temper that needed to be controlled. Well, I think it starts in the household, preferably your household is strong. Preferably you can talk to your dad first, or you can talk to your mom, or your uncle, bigger brother, bigger cousin. Then if that don't work, you would want to go to your teacher, somebody that's positive, a positive influence. And if that doesn't work, then you want to see somebody professional. It takes a lot of, self-searching and, just being honest with your psychologist, being honest with whoever you're talking to, being able to handle the truth, and I think that's a hump that you have to get over. I think to be a man, you gotta be willing to accept that you're not perfect, that you should be better, that you can be better. Well, before, I didn't even want to play in the NBA, and people was like, what are you talking about? And now that I, address my issues, I want to do so much more. I want to become a better dad, I want to see what my kids want to do and what goals do they want to reach. I want to reach more goals because I believe now I can do anything I put my mind to. I totally feel right. I'm at a point right now in my life where I can't be stopped. My mind is too strong.